actually a couple days ago, Pochettino was sacked by PSG.
Rolling right into it.
Yeah, Christophe Galtier.
No, he wasn't sacked by the way, we need to correct that. It wasn't sacked by PSG, bro. It was sacked by Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah, there you go.
The manager Mbappe. But the new manager is he managed Lille and Nice in the past couple of years. Do you think it was right to sack Pochettino after, there's obviously the collapse against Real Madrid this season in the Champions League? They have Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, all this talent. But we've seen it in the past. I feel like that PSG have always underperformed with the amount of talent they have. And I don't know if it's personally Pochettino's fault. I think they're playing decent football, but what do you guys think? If they should have stuck with him or they really needed a new manager? Just keep trying.
Dude, it's hard. I want Eli to answer this first because I have to think, bro.
I think that, Poch, since they signed Messi, even before, this PSG job, it's the hardest job that you have in management. Manchester United is kind of close in terms of how big the club is and where they need to be. But this PSG job is probably one of the hardest jobs that you could take on. And especially signing Lionel Messi, the expectations just rise, and they just it's clear how much they want a Champions League, and they really just have no patience. The board has no patience. The owner has no patience. So I don't know if it was necessarily right, but I think it was the PSG thing to do, which is just
exactly.
No, dude, so true. So true.
Yeah.
That's actually so accurate. Dude, so I saw the TikTok from, the guy who works for BR Football. He, started as a TikToker, and then I think he got signed by BR Football to do, he does the Champions League hotel thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that animated thing?
No. Eli, do you know what I'm talking about? He does, he wears the kits, and he's, the teams who check into the Champions League hotel, and, he'll just do skits about, the
on BR Football?
It's on BR Football.
Oh,
okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so the people who are listening will know. No, they will. He's popular, bro. So he did one. He did another skit about this whole Poch thing, and he said the intended thing in the story was that Mbappe sacks Poch to try to bring Zidane in, and then Zidane wants to go for the French national team job instead. So I don't actually know if Zidane was actually an option for PSG or if he turned them down immediately or if he snaked them, but. I would feel really bad if I was PSG right now, and that's the reason they did it. Yeah,
that would be actually a very good move for Zidane to go to the French national team. I think Deschamps. We'll have to see what France does in the this next World Cup, but obviously they went out versus Switzerland in the Euros last year, so that was a disappointment, but. They obviously won the last World Cup, and I think they're still favorites to win this one coming up. But
yeah, I would agree.
They'll definitely wait till after the World Cup. I don't know if Zidane is even willing to get that job or
that's what I'm saying.
Other jobs in general.
If they were counting, especially PSG. Yeah. If they were counting on him going there, I don't even know if he would go to PSG and then also the French national team. It's weird, but Deschamps is solid, so it's an interesting one. That I don't really know what's going to happen there. But I think Poch has not had the level of success that he would have wanted at any team that he's been at. Generally speaking, Spurs, he's literally every time almost gotten there.
Yeah.
He's been so close and then just failed. At Spurs, he got them to the Champions League final, which is the most prestigious game outside of the World Cup final in all of football. Yet he couldn't get them good enough places in the Premier League frequently or a Premier League title. And he couldn't get them the Champions League final that time. And so he wasn't able to win them the trophies that Tottenham needed and to add anything to their trophy case. And then he goes to PSG, he signs literally the GOAT, and he fails. So, I think that it was right to sack him, but I don't know how this new manager is gonna get on.
I looked into because I was a little bit who is this guy? I
don't
see much about him. So I looked into it, and he's a 4-4-2 at heart kind of man.
Really
interesting.
Like,
That's strange for PSG though, yeah?
It is, and like the other thing about it is like they don't typically like sign people from inside the French league.
No,
Like
yeah,
they're more of like a worldwide brand. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah,
bring
well,
in,
they have the oil money. They bring in everyone.
so like it's kind of like untraditional for them, especially in the past like decade, to bring in someone like from League One. And so I was looking into it, and like he plays out from the back, but it's mostly 4-4-2. But it led me to the question like, how do they play with a strike partnership,
yeah.
or do they go to like a three at the
That's a
back
really
or
good
five
point,
at the
dude.
back? But at the same time, like how are you like he likes to play with the strike partnership, but he also likes to have like he had Burak Yilmaz at Lille, who was like a
Hmm.
big like striker. Like he likes that kind of player. And PSG don't really have that. Like so I'm
No.
just kind of like I think this might be a little like a sign that we could see Neymar leaving.
Yeah, I would agree.
True.
And like I think it's also interesting you said like he likes to play out from the back, but he also wants a dual strike partnership, which I think is kind of hard because you're sacrificing a midfielder for a striker when those extra numbers in the midfield will help you man it better and overall have more control of the game to play out from the back. So it's kind of interesting like that he has those clashing concepts. And I don't think that PSG have the personnel to do that. And so he would either, in my opinion, have to change his style of coaching, which I think is always a terrible idea. You should
Yeah.
always stay true to your values and your style. Or he would have to sign new players, which means, like you said, you're going to see other players that don't fit that, even if they're big, high profile names like Neymar, you're going to see them leaving.
Yeah. I could see Mbappe being capable of playing in a two striker formation. Obviously, like you said, Neymar is not going to play left mid where he has defensive responsibilities, and I don't think he's going to be great as like a false nine or
And
something
he
like a
also,
link
he
up
wouldn't play
play.
Cam because in
Yeah.
4-4-2, you have to play defense as a midfielder.
Yeah,
regardless.
everyone past the two strikers pretty much has to be like box to box.
Yeah.
And I think a Messi Mbappe like front two would be interesting, but they don't have, like you said, they don't have like a big striker, which usually comes with the 4-4-2, where maybe you have a more pacey striker alongside him to play off of him. But two, like a Messi and a Mbappe are both, just not strikers by trade, and it's going to be interesting to see how if he does change his formation or he tries to have those players play in that formation.
The sneakiest thing would be, and I just like thought of it, usually you have a hold up striker who comes to, receives the ball, has a guy on his back, lays it off, and then you have your other striker who runs in behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like generally how you play a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But he could drop Messi in and have him be the hold-up player, but not like with players around him. He just comes in, receives the ball, and finds space, and then Mbappe is the one who runs in behind. So you kind of like reverse the roles of big man, little man,
Yeah.
but you're still having like the same sort of attraction where you bring the center backs out and then you open up space for Mbappe to run through. And I think that could work, but it also could be an epic failure. Like it could be so bad.
That's
So-
just PSG, like in a nutshell.
And no, it is, bro. It's crazy. Like you never know how they're going to be.
Yeah.
They always have a really strong squad, and then you're just like, well, are they going to do well this year? Like, are they even going to win the league when you have other teams like Lille that are really solid now?
Mm-hmm.
So
It'll
yeah,
be interesting to
you
see,
never know.
especially like considering the fact that like if they went to like a back five or something, like players that we forget about, like Ashraf Hakimi,
Yeah.
he's best as a wing back. Like Nuno Mendes is best as a wing back, and then they have Sergio Ramos as like their backup center back, who 2 years ago was one of the best.
What's the best in the world?
Literally,
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude.
So they could go with a back three of like Kimpembe, Marquinhos, Sergio Ramos, but
That would be
it'll
really solid too. That would be really good, dude. And especially if you put Ramos in the middle of that, he has to cover less ground, do less running, especially now that he's getting older with his legs. Like that might definitely work, 100%.
It's fair.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to see.